All right, Andrea.
Hi.
Andrea or Andrea?
Andria.
Andrea.
Yes.
Andrea, where are you from originally? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in between Arizona and Louisiana.
Tell me about your family growing up.
My family was a split family. I really didn't have my father in my life, so I grew up with my mom. She raised me, and it was pretty rough. Like, we lived on food stamps and everything, but she taught me. She's more like my best friend, you know? She wasn't really like that mom figure, so it was pretty rough, you know?
Did you have any role models in your life as a kid?
Yeah, it ended up being like my teachers and stuff, like growing up and everything like that, but like most of my younger childhood, I really don't remember. High school, I remember, and then there's like a dark time in my high school period because I pretty much got told by a street aunt, like my mom's best friend, like, when you gonna start dressing like a girl? And I think like I kind of like went downhill from that because then when I started dressing like more like a girl and stuff, I had like a lot of problems and stuff. Like, I got assaulted a lot and things like that.
Was there any kind of abuse in your childhood? Do you remember at all?
Honestly, I think that there was, but nobody wants to be honest about it.
And you blocked it out, perhaps?
I had a therapy session the other day. Like, it was a hypnosis thing. It was like a free one. I got paid like $50 or something on Craigslist, and it homed in on something, and I saw me and this one weird person. I can't pinpoint a name, but I was being molested in it, and I was probably like 11 in it. It was at like one of my birthday parties. My mom would get like a hotel, you know, and every year I got to take one of my best friends, me, and my mom would take us, and that was my birthday party until I had a big old birthday party when I was 16, you know. But on that, and I don't remember this scene at all. Like, it just started coming back to me. Like, I've been dealing with like trying to get sober and everything, you know. So like things that like how when you kind of quit smoking cigarettes, you know, you start getting like health wise, you know, come back, like thoughts and memories started coming back flooding that I've never even remembered, period. So it's pretty rough going through it, and it's like I don't talk to my family like now. They don't even know that I'm alive right now. So
really,
yeah. So it's pretty rough going through it alone.
How far did you go to school?
I went to some college. I graduated high school with diploma. I also did specialized training in the military. So I have a lot of certificates under my belt, but no degrees yet.
And
besides my high school diploma.
Okay. How'd you get involved in drugs?
Met a guy, told me that he cared, fell in love, and it was right after my divorce. I didn't do any drugs, not even smoke weed until I was like 23, 24. Told me it was coke, turned out to be meth. Got me and his sister binged out. Did all my drinking then, all that shit, and pretty much that's how it started. Opiates. I was tricked into doing them for 2.5 years. I thought I was buying pain meds. My ex-husband ratted on me to courts, fighting for custody, saying that I had my weed card, my medical card in Arizona, and so they took me off pain management. In pain management, I was prescribed morphine pills and all that, so like I was already hooked on opiates through that. And so when I was tricked for 2.5 years, it turned out to be fentanyl, not the actual medicine that I was prescribed that I got cut off by. And I actually died, and I was in a coma for 5 days, 12 Narcan, 45 minutes CPR, and I was really lucky to be alive. But waking up from a coma and with only partial, like they say, like, not memory loss, it could have been, but like, not like, it kind of made me a little bit slower, you know? Being in a coma and being brain dead for that long, like I guess that I'd already been dead for like 2 hours.
Do you see a difference in your mental abilities?
I do. I forget things quick, easily. I can't focus a lot, and I'm always getting like time management is like not my strong suit, I get the job done, you know. And
that was from an overdose on fentanyl?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was off an M30 that I thought was an actual like Roxy, and I call them Floxies because they have fentanyl in them.
When you get those on the street, they often have fentanyl.
Yeah. They M30s are not real Roxys at all. Like people like that are adults. Like I've had a lot of like mentors die because they think that they're buying Roxy's and they're not. They're buying Floxy. They're cut with a lot of fentanyl, and it's really fucked up. Yeah.
Soft White Underbelly is about giving people a space to tell their stories, even when these stories challenge what we think we know. Ground News shows us different perspectives in the media, which is why Ground News is a perfect sponsor for my channel. In a world where algorithms censor much of the information we receive, some of the most important stories get missed from our news feeds. Ground News highlights local news from around the world, giving you an on-the-ground perspective that national coverage might miss. The app and website empowers you to form your own opinions by presenting you with every article published on any news story worldwide. My favorite part of the app is the data it gives you on each news source as you read it, such as where it leans on the political spectrum, a factuality rating indicating how subjective their printed reporting tends to be, and who funds it. I particularly like their blind spot feed, dedicated to showing you news stories that are underrepresented in the mainstream media. You can check this all out by scanning the QR code on screen or clicking the link below. It's easy to forget how much bias can shape the reality we live in. And in a world where our attention is constantly being fought over, my Vantage plan easily helps me keep up with more important stories slipping through the cracks. So I encourage you to check them out at ground.news/SWU. Subscribe through my link or download the mobile app and enter promo code SWU to save 40% off their Vantage plan. And by subscribing or even gifting it to someone you know, you're helping hold the media accountable and helping my channel directly. Thank you for watching. And you've been living on the streets for how long?
For going on 13 years now. Ever since I've been out pretty much in California. I became homeless when I was taken from Arizona. I was kidnapped with my best friend and 7 other girls.
By who?
It's a production group. It used to be an old porn company. They started making snuff films. I guess they're called like Midnight Productions. At least, and they're a bunch of like gang members or like from some biker crew or some shit. At least that's what I've done my like research on, you know. It was a trucker and his wife that got me and my best friend, but the other ones were all like brought in from other people, and then they were transported on the truck.
This was a Caucasian gang, or?
It's a mix between Caucasians and Mexicans. Yeah. There are some black people, but those are the ones like are the handlers, you know, for dates and stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, you say they did snuff films. You didn't see any of that, did you?
No. They made us dress up like kids, you know, like the ones that like with younger features and everything. We had to wear like pigtails and school outfits. During the second phase, we were in like these like little cubicles, and they had a menu, and they get to pick the cocktail, like if you want to drug your client, like you want to drug your girl or some shit, and then we get shot up, and they just do whatever they want to do.
Were you a willing participant in that, or you were being forced to?
I mean, I was forced to do. I was drugged into doing it. I used to work in entertainment. You know, I used to make porn. I love it. I love customer service. I love working with people. So like, every one of my professional jobs, I had like a little entertainment side, you know. So like house cleaning and stuff like that. I had like my fantasy house cleaning business, you know. Massage therapy, you know. I had my exotic massages, you know, like where you like wear a cute little outfit and like you do massages, and then maybe like a little 5-minute hand job at the end of the time, you know. I think my ex-husband finding that out, he threatened to hurt me, and cause me immense pain if I didn't give him custody and shit. And so when I got full custody back, that year was really rough, because I thought, okay, cool, like I got my life back, my kids and I got our life back, like everything's out in the open, you know. And then just one day, it just changed.
What happened?
I finally trusted this chick to watch my kids. I went and checked in with a shelter and a rehab, and I did a 3-day detox. And I was clean, and when I left, I tried to look for my kids, and I couldn't find this chick. And I looked every day. I camped out in the neighborhood. I went to the house that I dropped my kids off at, and then when I finally found her, it was after like 3 weeks, she beat my ass up in the middle of a QT parking lot in Phoenix, Arizona, accusing me of all this shit, saying I left these kids at a hotel and shit, and it's like, what the fuck? Like I dropped them off in your car at your grandma's. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and I had proof of all of it, and this social and society like groups out there, they don't give a fuck who you are. They go like, who has money, who's the top drug dealer or some shit like that, you know. And so they all like were on her side, and I got beat to a bloody pulp, bruh. And I when I was with my best friend, we stopped at a truck stop, and this trucker and his wife offered to buy us food, and next thing I know, I'm waking up in Blythe in the back of a semi.
Where are your kids? Did you find your kids?
I found out like 2.5 years ago that they were back with my parents. I guess my best friend found out, and he tracked them down, and he took them from her, and they were trying to sell them and make money off of them, and he got them back to my parents, and now my parents have adoption over them, and that's been really rough.
They're trying to sell them or sell them for sex?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I know that being taken by those people, like, I know that that's their background. You know, they make snuff films. You know, I'm really hoping that I don't think my daughter had to endure that, but I'm pretty sure that if my best friend hadn't found them, that they probably would have. There's some pretty raunchy fucking people. You know, like one part out here, when I got taken to Harupa Valley, I got taken to a compound when I got found after, because on the first day I bit the guy in the dick, and he took me by my hair and threw me in the parking lot and didn't return me. And I ran to the hotel that I knew from memory, going there, and I didn't know at the time that they had told them, like, hey, you see this girl, like, and they showed them pictures, like, these are our property, you know? And so people had called them and told them I was there, and so I got tricked into this people helping me, and it was really them. And I was gang raped by 13 people, and it was an abandoned hotel. And I remember waking up, and I couldn't move. And I remember going in and out of blacking out because I had been drugged with heroin at the time, and that was before fentanyl. Actually smoking fentanyl, like powdered and rocks now. That was after the M30s, and that's how I was introduced to heroin, was being drugged with it. They gave goofballs, I guess they're called, with meth and heroin, and that's what they would shoot us up in the neck with. So I have scars like right here. My tattoo has part missing. I've had 2 abscesses right there, right here. I had a big chunk of my arm taken out by a hospital. When I got found, I was bleeding out, like less than like a block away from the hospital. And I had, I can't have babies anymore. Turns out I was pregnant with twins, and when I was sodomized and gang raped, they killed my twins. And I was bleeding internally, and so I had to have an emergency hysterectomy. So I can't have babies no more. And that really sucks, because like I've always wanted like a son, you know. But like even not being with my babies anymore, like it's hard, like because like they have to go through, like their dad never wanted them, you know. Like, and I always begged him, like, let my parents have temporary custody, you know, like they'll help them out while we get our heads out of our asses, you know, and be able to, like, and even if we're not together, like, why can't you just be a human, you know? And my kids, it's sad to me to think that they think I, like, left them for drugs, you know, like, because I would never, like, I always made sure we had what we needed before we wanted. Like, I was that hot Walmart mom, you know, my kids are dressed up in Nikes and shit, you know?
And I want to call him so bad, but it's just that fear of being found by those ugly, ugly people, you know. It's been hard. I came out here to LA. I walked all the way here from Culver City. I got taken from Orange County to help this person. That person ended up trying to, like, I think he knew my background because, like, he was, I noticed red flags, you know? And we were in Long Beach, and I left with his friend because we realized how much of a piece of shit this guy was, and I didn't have any fentanyl, so, like, I was, like, forcing, like, withdrawals, you know, and I was helping his friend out because he got sick, you know, he had breathing problems and shit. And so, like I said, like, when you quit smoking cigarettes, your breathing gets better. So I thought I was going crazy. And I ended up going to Culver City Hospital. I admitted myself, self-admission, because, like, I thought I was going crazy. I just wanted to end everything. Like, memories started coming back. Like I said, I got that fucking weird-ass, like, memory of what happened when I was 11. And, it's like, what the hell? Like, and I already know, like, my family don't tell me the truth. Like, I've tried, like, well, what do you mean you and Daddy didn't love each other no more? Like, what do you mean? Because, like, in Texas, everything's publicized. Like, you can see my whole name, born. You can see my whole name and attached to divorce with my mom and my dad, my father. And then less than a year later, he's remarried to someone that's, like, his own mom's age. You know, like, I remember meeting my father for the first time, like, really sitting down was when I was barely 16. Got off the plane, I was an unaccompanied minor. Instead of seeing my father, I saw his side of the family. So I went to Louisiana. So that's how I saw my whole paternal side of my family. I pretty much went there during, like, spring breaks, summer breaks, and all that. And when I finally got to meet him, like, it was weird seeing my stepmom and my mom, his mom, my grandma, reminiscing about their high school reunions, and they're the same age. Like, wait, what? Like, 'cause my father's younger than my mama. So it's just weird. And I look just like him, but with hair. So it's just weird, and I don't really talk to him at all. And I had to cope with that, but I realized he raised my stepsister's kids, like all his stepdaughters. He raised all of their kids to get their heads out of their asses. So it's like he had to help like six other grandbabies, you know. And so that's been really hard, but, you know, I forgave him, and I asked for forgiveness for being so mad because, like, really, he was helping these other kids out, and, you know, they just needed a little bit more love than he could give me, you know. But it's been hard. Like, I don't know really how to love in relationships. I got a lot of flaws, you know, but my flaws are my strengths, you know. I've never done anything bad, and sometimes I think, like, my karma is good and bad, but I think the bad part comes because maybe I should have just let people figure out sometimes things on their own, heal on their own. But it's like, I don't want nobody to go through nothing that I've seen. I've seen dark shit. I've seen devil. I've seen hell multiple times. And it's like, I always say, I know. And it's not because I know. I may not know exactly what you've been through, but I've seen so many things that I don't ever want you to see that bad, you know? And so I hope one day, like, my story, and I can save the world, you know, but who knows?
And you're living on the streets now?
Unfortunately. Yeah.
How do you make money?
I have to do what I have to do sometimes. I started recently doing that. That's been really rough out here. You know, $10 full service, I just don't do. I miss those. I'm like, bye. I'm like, you ain't worth my time. Like, and
yeah,
so
Skid Row's the bottom of the barrel.
Oh yeah. Like, I was staying in a hotel I call it Uptown LA, and I got tricked into coming to Skid Row by someone, and I was really hungry that night, you know, and he left me out here, and I ended up getting robbed and raped that night. Took all my money. I just made like $200 one hour, $200, you know, and all I did was sit there and smoke cabbie all night. Like, that's all you want to do. And so I got paid $200, and I smoked $100 worth of cabbie with him, you know, and the guy took it all, and then raped me. And I went to LA General Hospital, and when I was there, they did the whole entire workup and everything. And then, like, I left after I got all the workup and everything because, like, I'm like, y'all, like, my advocate from, like, the healthcare, whatever, she had to leave, And so I didn't have someone help me my voice. And the nurse, like, everyone just changed. Like, the hospitals just changed. Like, how's there a victim? How's there a crime if there's no victim that wants to talk? It's like, I told y'all where it happened. Like, just because I don't want to talk. That's because, like, justice system's so fucked up. Every time I've, like, when I was assaulted in Arizona, they lost my case. So my boyfriend at the time, no one believed me. They're like, you're not telling the truth and shit like that. And it's like, I live this shit. I deal with night paralysis and night terrors. Like, I get stuck in night terrors where I can't move. Like, my head will just be like this, back and forth, and I'll be screaming and crying, and I can't wake up. Like, I can hear them, I can hear you, but I can't wake up. Like, and I have to live through it, and all I see are faces, and they're all X'd out. Like, I don't, you know, and then I have a very vivid dream, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, and it's like things come to me, like I saw my ex-husband, like, in the corner of my eye, selling me, like, getting payment for me, and that just hurts me so bad that my ex-husband was so obsessed with me that he had to do that, like, just to get some part of me, whether that means hurting me, you know? Like, it was already bad enough that I had to endure all the rape and sexual assault and abuse and financial abuse and emotional abuse from him, you know? Like, why would he have to go the extra mile to hurt me even more, you know?
You've been through so much trauma, so many terrible things in your life. Do you feel like a lot of it's sexual now? It seems like a lot of what happened to you as a young girl that you don't remember might be the key to it all, while you're on this path.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
And maybe a good therapist can help you.
Yeah, if I can find one that actually, I don't feel attacked every time I talk and stuff. I'm working on that. It's just like, you know, you meet these people that need to heal too, and I feel like sometimes I've been through it, and I'm here for a reason. So it's like sometimes I put my healing aside to try to help somebody else. But I read something the other day that says, you know, a person that has unhealed wounds has to do that journey alone, because you turn into an ugly piece of work sometimes, you know? Like, I push people away. I've haven't been able to work a regular job because, like, you know, it's just, I can't get hired at a regular job because they say I'm either overqualified because I'm military or some shit, or I'm too pretty to work here. Like, what is that supposed to mean? Like, it's a job. Like, you should be willing to hire people that want to work labor or some shit like that, you know? But it's been really hard. Like, but a lot of things that I endured, like with my ex-husband, I found myself, like, you know, like, kind of sexually too, you know? Like, I had to learn how to like it my way or do it my way so I could fucking get through it, you know? But it is hard, like, doing this. Like, recently, I think my night terrors and all that shit have, like, spiked negatively in my life because I'm doing something that I vowed myself I would never do again because of what I went through, coming here and getting away from them and not being found again. I vowed myself, like, I'm gonna live, you know? And doing that lately, it's taken a huge toll on me, you know? But that's why, like, I don't just let anybody jump up in this Kool-Aid, you know? So
if you had your life to live all over again, would you have done anything differently?
Maybe slow down a little bit. Enjoy what you have right then and there. Take a little bit more time, you know, for yourself and for those in your life that, you know, like I always say, you plus me equals we divided by, or you plus me equals we divided by 0 equals 1. We won, you know? And so, like, you're an extension of me. Like, if you become part of my life, you know, you're an extension of me. So if someone fucks you, they got me coming too, you know? That's hell's wrath spirit, you know?
How old are you now?
I'm 34, but God, do I feel so old, you know? I'm so tired, you know? It's crazy, you know, everything going on in my life. And it's like, people are like, why don't you want to call home and all that? It's like, all you gotta do is call them. It's like, what am I supposed to say? And in my head, I'm like, I feel like calling and say, hey, you know, I just want to let you know I'm alive. I'm okay. I don't want to talk about it. I love you. But, like, it's like, that. I think that would hurt them more, you know?
Is there shame on your part that also keeps you from contacting your family?
More like guilt. Guilt of not slowing down and not being honest about what happened, or honest about how I felt mentally, but like with my daughters, it was way different than my mom did with me, I got left alone mentally after my divorce, and what I went through was abuse with him and my rapes. Like, I got left alone. She'll get through it. She's in the military. She got this. She's strong-minded, strong-willed. I am. But I've definitely learned mental health that's another thing I'd change. Like, definitely focusing on up here, not all of this, or, the front of what people see, It definitely, you got to worry about what's up in here, because if you aren't okay in your mind, your body and soul will definitely reflect it later on. So, me, I'm kind of lucky, like I don't really look like I'm that old, but there's sometimes one person that I look like 50. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of my face! Like, that's an insult now, But I mean, I think I have a chance to still do good in the world.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
All right, Andrea, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
I wish you lots of luck from here on out.
Thank you.
Thank you. When I was designing the first Soft-White Underbelly book, I realized that there were so many great portraits that weren't going to make it into that book. They just wouldn't fit. And once I saw how well that first book sold, I knew I'd have to design a second book. This second book is finally ready to ship. Like the first one, this book has a collection of some of the best portraits from Soft-White Underbelly, accompanied by a quote from that person's interview. This book features another group of Rebecca portraits, as well as a collection of color images of the Whitaker family, and plenty of others. You can order yours for $125 or $150 for a signed copy at softwhiteunderbelly.org. Again, like the first book, once this book is sold out, I will not be printing more of them. The portraits are what Soft-White Underbelly is all about, and these two books contain the best of all that work. Thank you for watching.